Hey, and welcome back. In these next few episodes, I need to get this Bongo back on the road. So this is my Bongo. She's a 2.5 turbo diesel. As you know, if you already follow me, I run this thing on veg oil and old motor oil. But she's actually been off the road for about 10 or 11 months now during lockdown, as we've not needed two cars. But now lockdown is finishing, I really need to get this back on the road. Engine's not running properly, power steering isn't working properly, and there's a couple of patches of welding. So in the next couple of episodes, I need to get this sorted. The engine in the Bongo is under the driver and passenger seat, so we got those flipped back. When she's cold, she runs awful and stalls out. Now, I thought it was something to do with the glow plugs. I've chased the glow plug wire in. I'd done a bypass, so when you turned the engine on, the glow plug stayed on and it ran fine, so I thought it was that. But it turns out it's down to these little guys here. These are the vacuum system. Because I need this fixed for next weekend. It's got to be back on the road because we're going to go and see Ghostbusters in a drive-through cinema, which was incidentally the first film I ever saw with my dad when I was about 8 years old, a long time ago. Right, let's get this fixed. Right. This one? No. And that's the issue I'm having. Right, let's try it. Sorry, Bongo's beep. So we let it warm up. Now I've disconnected this because I was working on it, so that's going to bounce around, don't worry about that. So it starts fine. There she goes. If I give it a bit of throttle, and that's what's happening. Like I say, if I put the glow plugs on, it carries on running. So let's show you again. If I put throttle on, it runs lovely. And what it is, this unit here is not actually activated, it's vacuum controlled, and it's because this vacuum solenoid here is gone. I'll show you now. Right, so I'm going to pop this off. Sorry about leaning over you guys, space is a premium by here. It just slides onto this plate. That's actually broken as well. So now I'm going to try and get that out of there. Right, well, I've got that off, but I also broke all the vacuum hose, and you can see how brittle this has gone. So I'm going to replace all that, but my motor factors is just shut. So I'll go see if I've got any lying around. Now this is the unit. This is the old one. It's a Mitsubishi unit. Now if you get these from Mazda or a dedicated specialist, these are about 180 quid a pair. This is a patent part off eBay. I had for, I think it was £12 including postage. It's exactly the same. We'll see what the quality's like when I get it on and run it. So let's pop back on, pop the wiring back in. Right, I just need to get a replacement bit of hose for that so we can test it. So I've nipped to my local pet shop, and it was a pet and model shop, and I've got this silicone hose. So it's only temporary. I just want to see if it gets fixed. So it's running a lot better. I think I need to adjust this in a little bit. So a good bit of WD-40. I'll wind that down a fair way. Should use a thinner screwdriver. Alright, let's put it back in the van. Right, I have taken all the glow plugs out of the van. I'm going to give them a quick test. Now you can test them with a voltmeter or a resistance meter by putting live on one side, negative on the other, and seeing what you get. You should get a reading of as close to 0 as possible, about 1.2, 1.5, whatever, something like that is fine. But the other way you can test them is by hooking them up to a battery, connect them to your live to the top and your earth to the base, and see how long it takes to warm up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, you can see that gets nice and hot, so we know that's a good one. And I've been through all 4 of mine and checked, and they're all good, so it's not the glow plugs. So I'll now fit them back into the van. They all look pretty healthy. They've only got that orange glow on them now because I burnt them outside with the 12 volt. So what I've just noticed on here is, look at that. I think this has been earthing out on the rail. That probably doesn't help much. So I'm going to cover that. Find something to cover it with. You can see it's in. Done it there as well, and started to do it there. So I'm gonna, when I refit this now, I'm gonna make sure there is absolutely no contact with anything down there. So that's back on. Still getting this jittering every now and again a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is change the fuel filter. It's never been done on this van since I've had it. I've had it 5 years, so that's definitely the next thing to do. So let's crack on. Right, that is located down under here. Well, fair play to Mazda. It's just 2 bolts and 2 pipe clips and an electrical clip, and this pops out. Right, I can get this on the bench now to get that off, and get some new gloves on while I'm at it. There's a new and old replace. He's going to pop back in down there. I'll get the bolts on, and we'll see if that makes a difference as well. Well, that is now sounding sweet. Vacuum fixed, idle fixed, glow plug, buzz bar fixed, and fuel filter changed. That was the vacuum kicking off. Hey, job done, I think it's solved. Right, now it just needs welding. Ugh. Right, there we are, that's all the vacuum hoses changed. That's a real easy job, definitely worth doing. The other ones are so brittle. In fact, I can show you them here. Yeah, these are just so tough and gone hard. You can see how they were cracking as I was taking them off. So that's just some auto vacuum hose, got off Amazon. Obviously I had to have red, makes the van go faster. And the only difficult one was the one that's down there, because these plates are in the way. If you take this one off, not so bad, especially if you've got little hands like me. You've got big man hands, it won't be such a nice job. Right, let's fire her up and see how she starts There's my keys in my pocket. So if you remember at the start of this, she was running really rough, smoke everywhere. And the things we've changed is a vacuum solenoid. We've cleaned up the buzz bar. We've sealed it off where it had burned through and could possibly be arcing. We've adjusted, where is it? Down here. We've adjusted our, what's it, that's just like the throttle adjustment, I can't think of the word for it. And we've changed the fuel filter, which is, where is he? Just down in there, that shiny bit over there. So basically just a general service. So choke is on. Now we're going to watch for this moving. Shows all the vacuums working, and we can listen to what she starts like. Absolutely lovely. Not too much smoke at the back. Right, that's the engine sorted and running lovely. So that's one thing off the list of getting this van back on the road. The next thing to work out is the mystery of my disappearing power steering fluid. I'm putting litres in there, it's vanishing, there's no oil leaks under the van, there's no drips. I put the, I'm not going to say too much actually because I'm doing a separate video on it, but if you follow me on Instagram, or Twitter even, you would have probably already seen that I've actually worked that out. So that'll be the next video on this. And then the last thing then is the welding, and we can get this thing in for an MOT. Right, take it easy guys, and thanks for following along. Cheers.